About the deadlock avoidance. We discussed the four characteristics of the deadlocks in our earlier discussion. So these four characteristics has to be attended so that the deadlock can be avoided. So this was the primary intention where a deadlock chapter is going to emphasize. That is um, at any moment of time, no preemption, hold and wait, circular waiting, mutual exclusion. If all these four characteristics are not in a position to occur, then we can say that deadlock will not occur. So the most important thing was a deadlock was whether there is some prior information or there is some a priori information of the availability of resources there, then we can say that deadlock can be avoided. So in advance, there will be some resource allocation states. So using these graphs and all, the deadlocks can be eliminated. So that is what the proposal was. So in order to do this proposal, the first and foremost thing was they are going to put the content in a word called as a safe state. So safe state is a state where that the resources are in control of operating system, and these resources will be allocated to process based upon the need, but the order it is going to give so that the deadlock will not occur. So it is going to rise a sequence, it is going to rise a sequence, and that sequence we are going to call here as a safe sequence. So a safe sequence is going to be constructed, that is with these safe states. So the basic assumption or the basic facts was, if the system was undergoing a safe sequence, if the system was undergoing a safe sequence, then definitely there will not be any deadlock. So if a system is in a position that a deadlock is not occurred, that means there is a safe sequence which is going to be trolled over the system. And if there is an unsafe sequence, if there is some unsafe sequence, then we are going to assume that there may be a chances for deadlock, etc. So if the system is going to be in a safe sequence, then we can definitely say that there will be no deadlock. And if there is a unsafe sequence, then there is a chances of deadlock. There is a chances of deadlock. So at any moment of time, the things has to be converted from unsafe state to the safe state. So for that we are going to arise a word called as a safe sequence. The things which are going to be with the system has to be allocated to the process, and that mechanism it is going to be derived with a word called as a safety algorithm. So to do this safety algorithm, it is going to be done with two implications. One implication it is going to be called as single instance, and another implication it is going to be called it as a multiple instance. If a single instance is going to take up, then a resource allocation graph is going to be enough to solve that problem. But if there is a multiple instances is going to be occurred, at that case the banker's algorithm is going to come into scenario, and banker's algorithm will have two phases. Banker's algorithm will have two phases. So first phase and second phase. In the first phase, it is going to apply the safety algorithm, and in the second phase, it is going to allocate the resource allocation graph. It is going to derive the resource allocation graph. So that is the basic distinction what we are going to use in a banker's algorithm. So to build up the banker's algorithm, we need some words which are going to be called it as assigned edge, and we need to have some requesting edge, and we are going to call it as a claim edge. So claim edge, they are going to write it in dotted lines. Requesting, they are going to put it from darker line. Similarly, the assigned edge is also put in a darker line. The reason was, if it is going to be a assigned edge, it will be from resource to a process. If it is going to be a requesting edge, then it is going to be from process to request. So these two are the basic content while they are going to work with the resource allocation graph. So claim edge, as mentioned, it is going to be represented in dotted lines. And now coming to the banker's algorithm, it is going to derive it with one, we are going to call it as multiple instances. And second thing was the prayer claim should be there. How many number of instances, how many number of cycles, the top of resources it needs has to be told in advance. So now the process when it is going to be requested, if it is the request was with another process, then it needs to be waited. So uh, when a process is waited and thereby it is going to get a resource, after the resource utilized, then it has to give back to the operating system. So that is, it is going to use for some fixed amount of time. Assume it is can be 10 milliseconds or 20 milliseconds based upon the job. Okay, all the resources are with the operating system. That is point number one. And whoever is going to put a request to the operating system, we call it as a claim edge, and they have to tell in advance. Then it is going to be converted to a request edge, and if some other process is going to use the request, the previous process is going to wait. Once the process has been completed, it has to give the same resource back to the operating system, and operating system again will allot the same resource to another process. So in this sequence, it will see that a deadlock will never occur. So that is the primary agenda of looking up into the banker's algorithm. So in banker's algorithm, we do have some n number of processes which are going to be represented as n, and we do have resources which are going to be represented with m. And there are some vectors which are going to be illustrated as a part of a data structures in banker's algorithm. One, they are going to call it as available. Two, they are going to call it as max. Third, they are going to call it as allocation. And fourth one, it is going to be done with a need, and need is going to be calculated with a formula called as need is equals to some maximum minus allocation. So need is going to be implicitly told as need is equals to some maximum minus allocation. And the extension was they are renaming the available, they are renaming the available to a word called as work, and finish, it is going to be done with a boolean variable called as false until finish is going to be true. Until finish is going to be true, then we have to iterate the process between step 2, we have to iterate the process between step 3 until finish is equals to true, and thereby it is going to derive a safe sequence. That means we can say there is no deadlock here. There is no deadlock which is going to be told as per the algorithm. Now, how a safety algorithm is going to work with the step 2 and step 3 was, until all the processes are completed, it is going to make up a mechanism that is need is less than or equals to work, and thereby it is going to say that work is equals to some work plus allocation. So it is going to say that work is equals to some work plus allocation. So these are the three important steps before we are going to work for a safety algorithm. The first important step was we have to calculate need is equals to some maximum minus allocation. Then we do have to calculate work is equals to some work plus allocation. So these steps are going to have an added advantage towards the banker's algorithm. So how good a banker algorithm is going to be taken up in this way, all the steps, they lead to a safe state. That is, safe state is going to have some safe sequence, and that means we are out from unsafe state. We are out from some unsafe state, and now we are going to derive it towards the content. So now how we are going to take it forward was we will be taking up a Word file, and I will be sharing you this Word file now. a notepad file, and we will be drawing up a algorithm which it is going to bring up the safe sequence, and thereby it is going to demonstrate the how a resource allocation graph is also going to take place. So we have this resource request algorithm. In this resource request algorithm, the foremost, what I was mentioning, safe state and unsafe state, it is going to be done with 3 steps. One, we are going to call it as available is equals to available minus request, allocation is equals to some allocation plus request, and need is equals to some need minus request. So that is how we are going to propagate this. So first of all, we will be taking one example, and in this example, we will work with this system that is drawing up a banker's algorithm with a example. Okay, so first of all, we are going to assume here. First, we have A is equals to some 3 instances. We assume that some A is equals to having 3 instances, and we will assume A is equals to some 3 instances, and B is assumed as 14 instances, and C is assumed as 12 instances, and D is going to have some 14 instances as resources. Thereby, it is going to have the first object will be some allocation, and after allocation, it is going to have some maximum. So allocation was 4 resources ABCD. Maximum is also be the 4 resources ABCD, and thereby the availability is also going to be taken up, and the other name for availability will be the work matrix, work vector, and it is going to have the 4 instances ABCD, and thereby the final thing will be the concluding with the need. How I am going to conclude the need? Need is equals to some maximum minus availability. Maximum minus availability, we are going to compute the need matrix. Okay, so this is how we are going to assume. So now we do have process P0, process P1, process P2, process P3, and process P4. So process P1 is going to have 0, 0, 1, 2 instances, and it is going to have a maximum need of 0, 0, 1, 2. And similarly, P1 has raised 1750 as its maximum range, and it is allotted with 100. Thereby P2 is there. It is going to have its maximum need as 2356, and its need was only partially fulfilled with 1356. And P3 was asking 0652, and it is going to ask 0632. Thereby 0656 are the maximum need raised by the P4. Now P4 is going to get this as a 0014. So we have to compute the need matrix. After computing the need matrix, we do have to make a comparison towards deriving a safety algorithm. How we are going to use it was, we are going to say need is equals to need, while need is less than or equals to work, we can say work is equals to some work plus allocation. We can assume that work is equals to some work plus allocation. So this was the prior information what the operating system is going to have a advanced information at this stage. So how this information is going to be processed, that is the first thing. So availability, it was given it as some 1520. So it was given as 1520, and we have to derive a safe sequence. Okay, now first let us compute the need matrix. First, let us compute the need matrix. How we are going to compute the need matrix? We do have the 4 instances ABCD here and ABCD here. Then we have to see that need is equals to some maximum minus availability. First, we are going to take process P0, and P0 maximum was 0012, and it is going to have its availability. It is going to have its maximum need is equals to some maximum minus allocation here, maximum minus allocation. So allocation was it is going to have 0 0 1 2 0 0 1 2. So altogether we are going to get the need of process P0 was 0 0 0 0. Okay, next we have to compute for P1. What is P1's maximum? P1's maximum was 1750. What is the allocation for P1? Allocation for P1 was 1000. So then we are going to get the values as 0750. So this is going to be 0750. Later on we are going to compute it for P2, and P2 it is going to have the maximum value as 2356. Then it is going to get the allocation as 1356. So still it is going to have a need of 200. Then we are going to compute the value of P4, and P4 it is going to P3 it is going to P3 it is going to raise a request of 0652, and it is going to have an allocation of 0632. Now the formula was need is equals to maximum minus allocation. So now I am going to get the need. So I will be getting the need as 0020. And finally I do have the fourth process. In this fourth process, the maximum vector of fourth process was 0656, and it is going to have the allocation as 0014. So now I do have 0656 as maximum, and I do have 0014 as allocation. Now I am going to raise my need. So need is 0642, and the need was 0642. So this is the present need what we have raised up towards the first thing. So in the safety algorithm, first we have to compute the need, and this need was calculated. Okay, done. What was the second step of the Banker's algorithm? The second step of the Banker's algorithm was telling that need should be less than or equals to work, and if it is going to be true, then we can say work is equals to some work plus allocation. So that was the second and third steps of the Banker's algorithm. Okay, now let us solve the second step. So this is step 1 of Banker's algorithm. Now let us solve the step 2 of Banker's algorithm, and thereby it is going to move it to the step 3 of the Banker's algorithm. Okay, fine. So now let us compute for each and every process need is less than or equals to work. So what is P0's need? P0's need was 0000, which is less than or equals to some work. So what is the work value? So work, the other name of available, we are going to call it as work, and work value was 1250. Work value was 1520. So is 0 less than 1? Is 0 less than 5? Is 0 less than 2? Is 0 less than or equals to 2? So condition is true. Okay, if condition is true, then the Banker's algorithm, now it is going to move to the step 3. What is the step 3 of Banker's algorithm? We are going to say work is equals to some work plus allocation. What is the work value? 1520. What is the allocation value of P0? Allocation value of P0 was 0012. 0012. Now work, the new value of work will be 0 plus 1 is 1. So I am going to have A, B, C, D 4 instances. Similarly, I do have A, B, C, D as 4 instances. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 0 plus 2 is 2. So now we do have the revised availability. The revised availability was 1, 5, 3, and 2. So that is how we are going to compute it for P0. After computing it for P0, now we are going to assign the things with P1. Okay, fine. What is P1's need? P1's need, you can see it is 0750, which is less than or equals to work, right? What is the value of work? What is the value of work? So now just now we have updated the work, right? instead of 1250, we have updated to 1532. So this updated information only we have to take. The previous thing we have to ignore. So now we are going to consider whether this equation is going to be true or false. So at this case, we can say 07. So because B is going to have 7 instances, B is going to have 7 instances, and B is going to have 5 instances. So 7 is not less than or equals to 5. Therefore, P1 is not going to be honored, is not going to be honored. So now the safe sequence is going to give, here I am going to derive a safe sequence, here I am going to derive a safe sequence. At this safe sequence, only the P0 is going to get the entry, and P1 at this moment, P1 is not going to get the entry pass. Now, let us see that the iteration will go to the next step. Okay, so P0 is done, then P1 is going to be done. So now we are going to move with the P2 step. Okay, what is the P2's what is the P2's need here? So P2's need, we can see it is 200. So we are going to get 200, and which it is going to be less than or equals to the work vector. So what is the work vector? The revised work vector was 1352 and the condition was true. That means after P0, P2 should come into picture. Okay, second step is done. Now how to calculate the new work? I have to do it with the step 3 of the Banker's algorithm. What is step 3? Work is equals to some work plus allocation. What is the work value? Work value was 1532 plus allocation. What is P2's allocation? P2's allocation was 1356. 1356. So this is called as the 1356 is going to be called as the allocated value of P2. Okay, now let us calculate the new work. Now let us calculate the work, new work. We are going to have 2, 8, 8, and we do have these instances. So it is going to be some value. Excuse me, I have 0. The values was 2886. It should be done. So 2866. So if it is going to be the scenario 2886, so we should have 1532 plus 1354. So this is 1354. So this is 1354 here. So we are going to have 2886. So now it is going to be happening 2886. This was the step what we are going to consider. Okay, fine. Next one we are going to have P3. So P3, what was the P3's need? P3's need was 0020, which it is going to be less than or equals to P3's work. What is P3's now less than or equals to work? The revised work was 2886. The revised work was 2886. Now what we have to say? So the condition is going to be true. Therefore, now P3 enters into the safe sequence. Again, I have to say work is equals to some work plus allocation, that is 2886 plus P3's allocation. P3's allocation was 060634. P3's allocation was 060632. Now I am going to have the work. I am going to have the work value, that it is going to be 2, and 8 plus 6 is 14 instances. 8 plus 3 is equals to some 11 instances, and therefore we are going to get 6 plus 2 is equals to 8 instances. So we are going to update 2886 with the second value 2, 14, 11, and 8. Now these are the 4 instances. 1 for 8. We cannot borrow. We cannot do the general addition or general subtraction here. A is a separate entity, B is a separate entity, C is a separate entity, and D is a separate entity. You shouldn't assume that the carry has come, that I have to move to the another instance. No, that is wrong. So everyone is independent. We have to compute the vector with the first item, that is A of 0 with B of 0, A of 1 with B of 1, C of 1 with C of 0. In this way, we have to add or subtract, right? So we are going to get this 2, 14, 11 and 8. Okay, fine. Next one, we do have to compute it for the P4. So what is P4's need? What is P4's need? P4's need was 0642, and which it is going to be less than or equals to 2, 14, 11 and 8. So now we can consider here, so for P4, how we are going to calculate the P4? So P4, we are going to say work is equals to some work plus allocation. So I'm going to have the work as is equals to some 2, 14, 11 and 18. Then we are going to call the P4's value, that is 0, 0, 1 and 4. We are going to get the value as 0, 0, 1 and 4. This is not 18 here, this is just 8. Okay, so now we are going to have 8 plus 4 is equals to 12. So 11 plus 1 is equals to 12, and we have 14 instances of B and 2 instances of A. So now the revised vector was 2 instances of A, 14 instances of B, 12 instances of C, and 12 instances of D. So this was the present scenario. Okay, we have done with P3, we have done with P4. Now what was pending? Now the iteration isn't stop. Why it is the iteration is not going to stop? P1 is going to be in, still P1 has to be attended, because the allocation value of P1 is still not yet considered. So what we are going to do is we have to still iterate the process. At this case, we have to say P1. What is P1's need? P1's need is less than or equals to work. Okay, what is P1's need? P1's need was 0750, which is less than or equals to work. Now tell me what is the last value? That is 2, 14, 12 and 12. We are going to get these values 2, 14, 12 and 12. So it is going to be true at this case. If it is going to be true at this case, now we have to iterate the step 3. So this is going to be some step 2. Next we have to iterate the step 3. What is step 3? Work is equals to some work plus allocation. So what is work value? 2, 14, 12 and 12. What is allocation value? So P1's allocation value was 100. So we are going to get these values, final values. So A is 3 instance, B is 12, 12 and 12. So we are going to update this sequence as 3, 14, 12 and 12. 3, 14, 12 and 12. So we will be getting this as a final sequence. What we are going to assume, what we are going to assume here. So we do have this, right? So we do have the instances. Now we are going to have this value as P1 here. So P0, P2, P3, P4 and P4 and P1. So this is what we are going to derive a safe sequence. This is what we are going to derive a safe sequence, and this safe sequence is going to be taken up. Then we can say there is no deadlock. Then we can say there is no deadlock. So that is how a safe sequence is going to be generated. So the safe sequence is going to be generated. So we have talked about this safety algorithm right now. We have done with availability. Need is less than or equal to work. Work is equals to work plus allocation. Then we have generated a safe sequence, and we have now we have to say availability is equal to availability minus request. Allocation is equals to allocation plus request. Need is equals to some need minus request. So we have taken up this another example. So what we can do right now is we have this repel.it. So I'm going to share you this code of the Banker's algorithm in the chat box, where you can use this. You can also compile it along with me, so that you can have a good idea how the execution is going to work, how the execution of this algorithm is going to work. You can again take it up. So similarly, I'm going to copy and paste the same code of the Banker's algorithm again in the chat box. So if any changes happen there, you can take up this code here. So now we are going to execute the same Banker's algorithm. We are going to execute the same Banker's algorithm as a part of this OS lab. So I'm going to take up an online compiler. The online compiler was some REPL IT, REPL IT. So we have solved this problem with the C programming. Now we are going to compile this program. We are going and so now total number of processes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 processes are going to be there. And then total number of resources was 4. And what is the maximum value of resources R1 for process P1? So it is 0, 0, 1, and 2. Next one, we are going to say what is the allocation value of P0. We'll be getting it as 0, 0, 1, and 2 here. Okay, fine. After that, we have to give the input value of the second process P2. So what was the maximum value was we have to supply the input as 1, 7, 5, and 0. And what was the allocation value of P2? It is 1, 0, 0, and 0. So next we have to take up for process P2. We repeated this for 5 times, 2, 3, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 5, and 6. Then we are going to have the allocation value, that is 1, 3, 5, and 4. 1, 3, 5, and 4. Next we are going to have the process P4 value, that is the maximum need for process P4, that is 0, 6, 5, 0, 6, 5, and 2. Then what was the allocation value what we are going to assume? That is 0, 6, 0, 6, 3, and 2. So that is how we are going to get the allocation value for P4. And the last value what we are going to assume was 0, 6, 5, and 6. So these are the 4 maximum needs raised by process P5. And what was the allocation value was, just now we discussed, we have iterated in the algorithm the same values. So we are going to execute it right now. So now I was mentioning A, B, C, D are the 4 resources. Okay, the 4 resources maximum values what we are going to assume. So the first resource was A, it is assumed as 3. The second resources was B, that is it is assumed as 14. And the third resources was C, and it is assumed as 12 items, 12 instances. And the fourth resource was D, it is going to be assumed as 14 instances. So now this is what the scenario the operating system now it has raised. So this is the scenario what the operating system it has raised. So now now I'm going to take a snippet of that so that it will be good for discussion. Okay, fine. Now here, so give me a second. I'm having some setting problem here. Yeah, I'm back here again. So is have 12. This is 1750. So these are the different values of the processes, and the allocation value these are called the these are going to be called as some allocated values. Then we are going to have 0, 112, that is 0, 100. These values we are going to call it as a need, and thereby we are going to call the total values, that is 0, 70, and these are the total values. And the total values will be the 3, 14, 12, and 4, and the availability it was given as 1522. Now you can see the that is the safe sequence P1, P3, P2, P4 and P5, right? So this is what we are going to call it as safe sequence. Here we are going to call it as safe sequence here, and this safe sequence will say there is no chance of deadlock. There is no chance of deadlock, which it is going to be part of a safety algorithm. So Banker's algorithm is there. It is going to iterate the A bit, that is safety algorithm. Then the B bit will be some resource allocation algorithm. Resource allocation algorithm. So now this is what we are going to assume. Okay, so you can see that the availability, that is the need vector, the availability vector, the allocation vector, what we have told in the Banker's algorithm, the same things are going to be iterated. So if the instead of doing it in first come first serve, yeah, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, it is going to do in first come first serve, there will be a chance to move into a deadlock. But if the algorithm is going to work with 1, 3, 2, 4 and 5, then there is no chance that the operating system will create a deadlock. That is, there is no need for you to restart your mobile phone, no need to restart a laptop, because at any case the software in the operating system will at any case will solve it in a software via software rather than the hardware, that is instead of rebooting it. So this is all for today. So we have completed the Banker's algorithm. We have gotten enough idea of how the operating system is going to use this Banker's algorithm to generate, allocate a resource, etc. So we talked about the characteristics of operating system. That is, one, we talked about mutual exclusion. Two, we talked about hold and wait. Three, we talked about no preemption. And fourth one, we talked about circular waiting. If all these are going to happen simultaneously, deadlock will occur. Okay, so to prevent that, a deadlock will never occur, the operating system now is injecting this Banker's algorithm, and Banker's algorithm, it is going to derive a safe sequence. As now, to generate a safe sequence, it is going to use a Banker's algorithm. So that is all for today. Thank you for joining. So I'm ending up my presentation here. So I'm stopping the recording.